What's up guys, how are you all doing today? It's such a nice weather out, although it's a little bit on the hot side, but that doesn't matter. I am out right now, I'm at downtown. I'm about to meet up with a friend of mine to start shooting some B-rolls videos and taking some photos for Instagram. And so I figured out, why not teach you guys how to shoot in manual mode, since I talked about it in the last 2 videos that I had about how to take better photos. And I said to stop shooting in auto mode and start shooting in manual. So I figured that for those of you who don't know how to shoot in manual mode, this is gonna be for you. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm gonna meet him somewhere here. Here he is. What's up, bud?
What's up?
How are you doing?
How you doing?
You ready to shoot some photos?
Super ready.
Yeah?
Let's go.
Alright, let's go. Mind focus. Okay, good, now I am. Okay, so today's topic, like I said, is how to shoot in manual mode. And it's actually such a perfect timing that my friend JD, who I just introduced to you guys, needs to learn how to shoot in manual mode too, because he's going to school for photography or videography. I don't know which one. And he needs to learn how to shoot in manual mode. So I'm gonna be demonstrating some stuff and teaching him at the same time. So everyone's having a great time. Okay, photography 101 with UL and JD. He's just taking a picture right now. So before you would understand the basics or the concept of taking photos in manual mode, you need to understand the concept of these 3 things that I'm about to tell you. Okay, you ready? The first one being your ISO, your second one being your aperture or f-stop, and your third one being your shutter speed. Okay, so while I take photos of JD, I'm gonna be teaching you guys, I'm gonna be demonstrating. He's our model, I'm the model when he practices on me. But yes, ISO is basically the sensitivity of your camera to light. So the higher your ISO, the brighter your image gets. The lower your ISO, the darker your image gets. And at this scenario, we're in between 2 buildings. We're in an alley, and it's pretty dark here. It's full of shadow. So I bumped up my ISO all the way to 200, and my shutter speed is 125, and my f-stop is at 4.5. I'm sorry. Okay, because we're trying to catch the light, we're gonna go move on to a different location, probably at a garage or something where there's more light, so we can get those awesome pictures we can play around with the shadows and the light at the same time. Let's go! Okay, moving on to our next location. We were actually gonna go to a garage, but on our way there we came across this like mini tunnel thing, and so we figured that we should take some more photos here. Okay, we are now in our second location. We are currently on top of a garage. You're a weirdo. I had a feeling that you would do that. That's why I
Did you get that?
flinched.
Did you get that?
I don't know. Try it again. There you go. Show by JD. Yes, for this location, I'm going to be focusing more on the depth of field, meaning we're focusing on the f-stop. You're so tall, you have to like crouch down. Look how tall he is. He's like a giant compared to me.
Okay, bud. You'll get there one day.
It's like I'm looking up a wall or something. A good depth of field comes from a good f-stop, meaning low f-stop, right? We have something we call deep depth of field and shallow. What are you doing? I'm videotaping, man.
I don't want to get your shot, dude.
You know what? Having a lower f-stop will give you a very shallow depth of field. Is that what I was talking about? Yes, it will give you a very shallow depth of field, which is good for portraits. That is when you have a very, very blurry background, you have good bokeh, your subject is isolated from your background. That is a shallow depth of field, perfect for portraits, beauty shots, because you focus everything on the face of your subject, in this case JD. Okay, so for this one I'm gonna try to isolate JD from the background, which are the buildings here in downtown. So I'm probably gonna be shooting, because I'm shooting with a kit lens, I'm gonna be shooting with 3.5 of Fstop. My ISO, again, it's very sunny out, so I want it low, which is 100. I'm just gonna balance the exposure with the shutter speed, which I'm gonna be talking about for my next point. So I totally forgot to talk about shutter speed. So what happened was, we finished the vlog, we ran out of light, it was starting to get darker out, so we called it a day, did all the goodbyes on YouTube and all of that stuff, and I got home, dumped all the footage in, started to edit stuff, and I realized by the end of the video, I realized that I haven't talked about shutter speed yet. And that's when I started to look for it, and I was starting to panic. Oh my gosh, did I delete the video? Did I delete the footage? And then I realized that I totally forgot to talk about shutter speed. So I'm gonna do that right now. So basically, shutter speed is how fast your lens or your camera can capture an image. And the faster your shutter speed, the less motion blur you're gonna get in your image. And the slower your shutter speed, that's when you start to get those blurry arm, blurry face. That's when you're going to start to introduce the motion blur in your image. So there are going to be scenarios when you want to use either fast shutter speed or slow shutter speed. And let's start with the fast shutter speed. You would want to use a faster shutter speed for, let's say, when you're at a basketball game, you're at a sports events, or you're watching car racing. You would want to have a faster shutter speed because you would like to capture the moment. You would like to freeze the basketball player in time so that you can get, his epic shooting shot, right? And you wouldn't be able to do that with a slower shutter speed because you're gonna see his movement. You're gonna see the blurry arms or the ball or his face blurred out, which is not good if you're trying to shoot basketball games. And similar for cars, if you're shooting a car racing, you would want to see that car freeze in time. You would see that it's fast, the background and everything is blurry, but the car itself is very sharp, and you can get that type of shot with a faster shutter speed. Moving on to the slower shutter speed, you use slower shutter speeds for long exposure photography, and there are different types of long exposure photography obviously, but the most popular one is when you do night photography, when you're out in the streets taking pictures of the streets, the cars, and all you can see is that that light trails across your image. That is done by having a slower shutter speed. And basically what that does is that your lens was open for a couple of seconds, letting movement through your image, giving you that nice light trails. Anyways, alarm clock. Anyways, that's all I have for you today. Back to the garage to finish this video. Okay, so that's gonna be the end of today's tutorial or vlog or whatever you call it. And I hope you guys learned something, enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to click that thumbs up button, subscribe, because it will help me a lot, and I would like for you to be part of this community. And I would like to thank my buddy JD.
No problem.
Thanks, man.
I hope I did good today.
Did you?
Did I?
I don't know. Let's see. Alright guys, thank you for watching.
Wait. Let me do it.